Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Cherika Brown. Of course, Merry Christmas Eve, guys. So we're on another episode of Cherika Be Talking, cause I be talking. Y'all, the last video I was telling y'all I had to go to my vending machine for emergency, y'all. Another tip on entrepreneurship. It can cost you. So I was troubleshooting my vending machine for 2-3 hours. Just to find out I gotta buy a new bill acceptor that's gonna run me like $330. I already ordered it. I ordered it while I was leaving. Yeah, stuff like that, it'll sting you, but you gotta be prepared for that. So I was prepared for that when I first purchased the machine. You gotta know that with everything, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. There's no reward without risk. So that's another thing. You always got to be good with money, have money put up and put to the side in case of emergencies. But I'm coming on to just tell y'all this is the season to be jolly, to smile and to be grateful and find gratitude. I know everybody say now that we're older, Christmas don't feel the same like it used to, but you have to make Christmas feel the same. You got to start your own family traditions and decide how you're going to make this season still a happy season. I always feel good around this time of the year. It's the best time of year, the most wonderful time of the year when Christmas comes for me, because I just love the holidays. I love family and just being around loved ones and just being able to spread love, give love, and be love more than anything. And overall, so Merry Christmas to y'all and a Happy New Year. Can't believe this year went by so fast. I feel like it went by in a blink of an eye, honestly, if we're just being real. I was on TikTok Live. Was that TikTok Live? Yeah, this morning. And a guy had a topic on his page. And he basically was saying, God, he looked just like E-Man. This guy behind me. That's crazy. He probably like, why is this girl staring at me? But he had a topic on his TikTok Live. And he was basically like, you should not marry someone before living with them. And I disagree. I know that's a common conception that goes on in the world where people think, oh, you never know a person until you live with them. And I'm here to tell you that you can know a person for 50 years and still never know a person, because we're constantly evolving as people. I always tell people, you knew me, you don't know me. Even if you knew me last year, you don't know me this year, because when you're in Christ, you should constantly be growing and evolving anyway. So if you're staying stagnant as a person, that's not a good sign. I tell y'all all the time, you may not agree with everything that I say. And there may be times that I come on here and I be like, you know, I used to think that way, or I did think that, but this is my new thought process. Because we're constantly evolving as a person, and nothing is completely, you know, permanent, especially when it comes to our mind. Our mind is so big, and it has capabilities of stretching, especially when we experience more things and people and places in life. We're constantly growing. So, yeah, I came to say I disagree with that. I disagree that you have to live with someone before marrying them. And of course, I'm a Christian woman. I'm going to believe that. And somebody in his comments, surprisingly, his response for me, because I think I like this man's thought process, but I said, you know what? He must not be a Christian man. So I need to start paying attention to like what I like on his post, because we may not be in alignment for real. And he could be saying worldly things that just making me agree with it, making my flesh agree with it, but it's not biblical. And someone in the comments said, well, I grew up in a very religious household where you cannot like live with people before marrying them. And he was like, yeah, it's a lot of things wrong with religion that's why religion isn't a good thing to go off of when it comes to thinking about dating and stuff. And that's when he lost me. I immediately thought, I'm like, you don't have to live with somebody to know what you can and cannot put up with. For example, you can place yourself in environments. When I was in college, I met a good amount of men. My whole 4 years in college, there was no man that ever can say he slept over to my house or slept in my bed, any of those things. That's a little personal, but I'm just letting it be known. I'm putting it out there. No man ever can say that they slept over with me, but I did talk to almost a new dude every semester, if I'm being realistic. Like, I always was on my talking sprees where I talked to men, and that's how I learned men and knew what I did and did not like, just by simply talking to them. And I think a lot of people in our generation and in society in general downplay the seriousness of talking, or the data collection just from talking or experiencing people by spending time with them, innocent time with them. I can tell you off bat, I can think of one dude in particular that I talked to in college, and I remember just going over to his dorm, because we lived in these little dorms. I remember going over with a friend, having a little game night or whatever, and just off that visit, seeing his restroom, seeing his toilet, his sink, his bedroom, just off of that, I knew that, okay, I couldn't marry him. Like, I don't have to say, hey, let me take all my stuff and move my stuff in to see that this man has a nasty toilet stool and he doesn't put the top back on his toothpaste and he pees a little off the seat, or he leaves the toilet seat up all the time. And if we're being real with ourselves, some things we can tell people and people can change, but some things are just filth and you may not be able to coexist with people. We all have our pet peeves where somebody may be irritated if he never makes up the bed, he never washed the dishes, he doesn't pick up behind himself. You can see those things just by visiting people. People cannot put on the front for long. Even if you want to, you choose to, hey, I'm gonna stay tonight, but I'm gonna sleep on his sofa, or we're gonna put pillows in between us. There are innocent ways that you can spend time with people and come into people's space and have sleepovers or whatever, and determine no, this won't work. This won't work long term, just because it's some stuff that I see that we bump heads with. I can't coexist with this person. I feel like anybody that's responsible or considerate or whatever, you can basically come to terms with people. But if it's just a straight filthy person, you would know, hey, I cannot live with this person. I think in our generation and stuff, if we just learn to talk and get to know people more and tell people honestly about ourselves, I don't like a nasty man. I tell men that with the quickness. I like men that clean up behind themselves. I like men that understand that household chores is not a gender thing. Anybody can take out the trash, anybody can wash dishes. If we decide that one gender or one person in the household does it better than the other, cool, we can make it our responsibilities to do certain things. But I think relationships will be difficult when trying to bring two different people into one in general, because you both grew up in two different households where the rules were different, the expectations were different. So when you're trying to come together as one with the person, communication is key. And if you communicate enough and you see, okay, this is never going to get through to this person, you'll see that, okay, we won't work out, this will work out. And you don't have to live with a person to see that. If you spend enough time, there's other areas in their relationship or in how they move within life that will show you that you can or cannot deal with their personality. And just how somebody move around in a house is really a personality trait more than anything. You see when people are stubborn and stuck in their ways. You see when people are nasty. If you get a person's thought process, you have enough data to know if you can spend life with them. People get so scared of the thought of forever that we overcomplicate everything. It's not that complicated. If you have two people that are willing to work to please each other and to be a team, y'all, it's not that serious. It's not that deep. You don't have to spend 10 years with a person and live with them and see them through every season to know that you can spend life with them. Yeah, you can see them through every season, see them when they mad, sad, angry, when they disappointed with you. I think those emotions are good to see in people because you see how they respond, how they react, and how they just are under pressure. That's a good thing to analyze, but you don't have to live with somebody to do that. Don't have people out here having y'all going against your religious beliefs and what you believe at your core and breaking your morality just for the sake of determining if you want to be with somebody forever, because it doesn't take all that. But y'all know I'll be back because I'll be talking. Peace.